Hey guys, what's up? I'm coming at you with another video. I apologize about the long hiatus between videos here. I'm still trying to get my schedule worked out with Christmas vacation and everything else in the new year. I just haven't had the time really to get around to it. But as a kind of reward for waiting on me, and my apology for taking so long, I'm gonna come out here with an entire mini scheme. Um, it started as revolving around beating the cover three. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, if you're playing, know you're going to see cover three just constantly. And both my connected franchises that I play, as well as any online games that I might play, I mean, the amount of cover three that's being run is just absolutely obscene. And a lot of guys run it in a lot of different ways and varying ways from different formations. So I went into the lab to try to develop kind of a scheme around this. Now, luckily for me, not a whole lot of people run. Um, Luckily for me, not a whole lot of people run a lot of blitz schemes in this game. Most guys bail out into a bend don't break, and the blitz schemes they do run generally are zero. Um, so I've come out here and I have an entire scheme that I'm going to run through with you guys. It's a little mini scheme, 6 or 7 plays that I'm going to run through to kind of help you guys beat the cover three. Um, I got touchdown plays against just about every coverage, at least a 30 or 40 yard play against every coverage, as well as obviously the plays themselves are very consistent and attacking various zones and bend don't break coverages such as man and things of that nature. So I hope that y'all enjoy it. Like I said, grab a drink, grab a snack, pause the video, do what you got to do. Because this one's going to be probably my longest video because I'm going to try to get in depth and try to show y'all exactly different ways that you can beat some of these zone coverages, especially the cover three. Because for the love of the amount of Madden players running the cover three right now is just obscene. So anyway, without further ado, let me get into it. So first, it's out of the gun empty base flex. You can find this in a couple formations. I actually found it in the Miami Dolphin formation, Miami Dolphin playbook, excuse me. Really interesting formation. To start off, let me go ahead and go through here. The only run in here is going to be the QB draw. This is a run that you're probably not going to run very often. Most games I actually never run it. But it's there if for some reason you feel like your opponent's ready for it. And it also depends on your quarterback, what kind of team you're playing with. In my 2 franchises, I have Justin Fields in my franchise for the Dolphins. He's an okay runner. But even then, I rarely run this. Just simply because there's very little need to, and I feel like it's too high risk for the rewards you're getting out of it. You also have a wide receiver screen here. This is one of those that I'm not going to come in out very, very often. It's not a bad screen. It just depends on what my opponent is doing. But again, this is something you might run once, maybe twice a game. If that, it's very situational. I'll go through that. Other than that, let me start off. The level switch down there at A is the play that I like to come out in to start. And the audibles that I have set are Y corner, Y shallow cross, corner up, and stick and nod. So let's come out in the level switch, and I'll show you what I mean. We'll just come out in a 4-3 under, cover 3 sky. Now, as y'all well know, a lot of times you can burn the cover 3 by smoke screening this outside wide out and that slot guy. But generally speaking, that slot receiver, by the way, is who you want to have your most speed. That's why I got Henry Ruggs there. So what's going to happen here on this press coverage, even though he's going to get bumped off the line, he's still inside enough on him that you're going to be able to get a nice, easy window to make this throw. So as you see, he breaks and he missed the throw. But as you can see, let's run it again just so we can kind of get an idea. Aaron Donald just dominating. And you're going to make that throw right up the seam in that cover 3. And that's why you want your fastest guy there, because that's a touchdown. However, there are plenty of other reads on this play, and this is why I like coming out in this play. It's really versatile, especially against cover 3 schemes. So what you're going to do, you hike the ball, and you got RB coming underneath because of that seam route. So because of that seam route here, you got that middle linebacker, the Mike, fading back, which is leaving Renfro open. Another thing, if I can get time, because who knows if Aaron Donald's going to let me. I'm reading left to right. So when I hike the ball here, I'm looking, and boom, we got Waller there in the center of the field. So that's our third read on the play. Now again, you do read X. However, most of the time you're actually not going to hit him too frequently, because whoever's in that purple or flat is going to run to him the minute off the bump. And it's just like I said, it's something that you're not really going to run a ton unless he just bails back and leaves him by himself. If he manually were to take that linebacker, for example, and run back, then you'd hit X right there. But as you see, I went 1, 2, 3. Let's see if Donald. And then you also have B, who's the last read on the play, who you're probably not going to hit unless he's manually covering, but he is there. So we'll look at the replay real quick now that I've thrown all those. Right here, again, you got Ruggs there right in that honey hole window, and that's a touchdown. You make that throw, that's a touchdown. So I start off, I'm reading hike, I'm reading the smoke screen, and I'm reading Ruggs. I choose not to go to them. Now I'm reading that drag underneath. So that underneath drag is there. I can throw that right there, and that's 5 to 10. And then after that, I'm reading the crossing route over the middle of Waller, and I can hit him right there. And that's tons of yards going up the field. And then I got B coming underneath on a levels concept, which, like I said, not something you're going to throw a ton. But if he's manually covering up Waller or that drag, he comes across and you can kind of hit him in that little gap there. Now again, one of the reasons I love this play so much is it's consistent against just about anything. Let me go ahead and come back out and again. And we'll have the defense running your typical standard Tampa 2. So again, you hike the ball, but RB is wide open here. So you can hit RB pretty consistently on that as well. I'll go ahead and get into the replay because I do the reads all the way through. This video is already going to be long. So as you can see, he comes off and we can just bang right there. So this is what you're going to do in the cover 2. Now there are a couple different things out of the cover 2. If you got a player that's consistently coming out, and they will after you've run this a couple times, I'll show you a play that'll burn the cover 2 better. But against the cover 2, really, you're looking at this high-low read and the seam based on whether he's got the safety. But this is not. This is the one defense that I will say you're going to be able to have success with running this play, but it's not particularly. It wouldn't be my ideal play to run against it. But obviously, at the beginning of most games, most players are not coming out in the cover 2. They're coming out in the cover 3 or cover 4. And this play is really great against both of those. So let me come out in this cover 4 drop here, because cover 4 palms or quarters is a totally different beast. And now what you're going to do, you're going to make the same reads as you did on the other play. As you see, you got RB coming on the seam. You got RB coming on the drag. You got X on the outside. And I'll just hit Waller just because I want to. And I hit Waller right there in between the coverage because that outside linebacker sinks to the outside. So again, we actually can hit X here because of this cover 4. Because it's cover 4 drop, you got that outside guy bailing, we could hit X for an easy 5 probably. Possibly shake that. That's a running back out there. You can only replace him with a running back, so I'd put whoever your fastest scat back is on the outside. But we're looking at the seam, it's obviously taken. And then we're going to make our way to the drag, which is there, and then you see how that linebacker's sinking down. So I make the Waller as he sinks down, and Waller's going to catch that for, 20 yards? So 15, 20-ish. So it's really great against that as well. Now, what I want to get to now, though, is showing some of the various ways that you can bust the cover 3 out of this, though, because that is the focus of the video. So again, you've seen that play, and now you got Y corner. Now Y corner, the setup for Y corner, my personal favorite is to set it up like this. Now, you got RB running the drag, you got B running the smoke screen to clear out A. A's route is a solid man beater and is also really good for kind of hitting in the honey hole, depending. So if I wanted, let's say, to eliminate Y's route and say I wanted Y to run the drag, I can take RB and put him on this, and A's route will come nice and open. A's route will come nice and open in a little honey hole like they would on like a levels concept with the running back running to the flat. But I run it this way primarily. So what you're going to see here, as long as my blocking holds, which of course it doesn't, and bam. So right there, we're able to hit Ruggs coming across for the touchdown play, attacking the safeties. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's a pretty tight throw. And this is the way that I can kind of counteract that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same setup, except I'm going to move him in and send the running back on a streak. And of course, and he misses the throw. Of course, the minute I begin to slide or whatnot, this is the one thing that I will say. Now, you don't have to roll, I just would prefer to. And of course, alright, I'm not going to roll on this one so you guys can go ahead and see it. I prefer to roll if I can. However, it's not necessary, but I'm trying to get the hell away from Aaron Donald, and that's why right there. Because right here we're throwing picks because Aaron Donald is just beating the hell out of our guy. You saw it the first time at least, but alright, let's and he cannot make the throw on the run. Alright, we're going to try this one more time now that we've wasted 30 to 45 seconds. But I do want to show y'all the best way to get him wide open, because you saw the touchdown on the other one. But there it is. So as you can see, that's another way to kind of beat that cover 3. So what you did was you're sending that running back deep, and so that safety has got to cover him because of the way that it kind of works out. He actually beats the corner deep. So what you do here is as he's breaking across, A's route on the corner holds Ramsey. Now if Ramsey does bail, A is wide open. But obviously since he doesn't, we make the easy throw to Ruggs for a touchdown. So that's one really nice thing about this. Now you've also got stick and nod. Now this is again probably one of my favorites. The way that I like to run it is this way. I'm running 2 seams up the corner. I got 2 smoke screens on the left and the right side. Aguilar and Richard are both on the smoke screen. So first we're going to hike, we're going to look left, and Ruggs is wide open for the touchdown. Not touchdown, I'm sorry. It should have been the touchdown, but I put too much analog on it. Now what I like about Ruggs' route is it gets outside. That time actually it worked against me. A lot of times it screws the bump up a little bit. So what will end up happening is on the bump, see that time he's actually getting the bump right. But as you saw in the first way, it kind of works the same way as there we go. And because he's a little outside, it's a little bit of a easier throw, but it works the same way as the levels concept. You're just running that smoke screen. But now this one, what I like about this play is actually RB's route. Because if you watch here, you hike the ball, that linebacker fades very hard to RB's route. So a lot of times what you'll see here, and I'll run it one more time just so, boom. And Waller is just a freaking beast. So right here, if you watch, because of this kind of stop in route that Winfrow's running, this linebacker in the hook zone actually knows it's coming, so he stays at home and does not go back with him. Because of this, and because of your smoke screen here on the right side, you got Jalen Ramsey sitting still. So that leaves you with all this empty space back here. So as you can see, he goes to the fake because it's a stick and nod. I'm throwing it pretty much the minute that he is even with this other linebacker. I'm letting this ball rip. Now that's after Ruggs is already free too. So you got Ruggs on the other side for a touchdown. So if he's got that middle safety, he's got to pick one. So if he's got the middle safety and he folds to Ruggs, I can make this with outside analog to Waller. He makes the easy catch, and he's up the field and he's out. So that's what's nice is from the back side, if you're looking at this play, and I'll go way out, both of them are open. Right here, they are both open, and both open for touchdowns. So Ruggs is open on the left side for a touchdown, and Waller is open on the right side, maybe not for a touchdown, but he scores on this play, but at least for a 15, 20, maybe even 30-yard gain. So I really like that play against the cover 3. The reason it works so well is because of RB's route, which is why I run it specifically out of this play, because of RB's route, that linebacker will do that every time, regardless of circumstance. So that's another nice way you can burn the cover 3. And now, so shown that one. Corner up, this is much more of a cover 4 beater. But it is here, and there's a way that you can get the cover 3 with it. However, it's not ideal. I run X on a zig, just simply because if it's man, I basically hot X. So if it's man, I'm throwing to X most of the time because he's normally going to win. I'm going to take Y, and I'm going to run him on a slant or leave him. I go back, or leave him on when he's on, and put B on a smoke screen. Now the reason is we can hike the ball here, and he'll go down to B, and you'll be able to hit A in that little gap there. You see how he got stuck, which is why I like to. I've got to run that better because it's a tight throw, but it is something that is not terrible because he kind of gets in a little gap there. So, however, I wouldn't run that. I'd primarily be running Y corners. Y corner, stick and nod, or levels, but you also have Y shallow cross. Now, Y shallow cross has been in the game forever. Now, the way that I like to run it, I put Richard or whoever your running back is on quick drag, and I got B on the comeback, and that is all that I'm doing to this play. Now, I'll show you why. You hike the ball here. Oh, Richard, you are just awful. So, let me run this successfully. A obviously comes across. Oh my goodness. Somehow he's under pressure for reasons unknown. So basically, under pressure he was inaccurate again, but at least he freaking made the throw that time. I'm sure Aaron Donald just burnt the hell out of my left tackle. Let's see. Oh yeah. So basically you're reading underneath, you got the 2 drag routes, whoever's on, and then on the right side, you've got this seam. Now what's nice about this is, if he takes this linebacker and tries to cover the center of the field, you'll see here, seam gets past. If that linebacker's not there, that's an easy inside window all day, which is why this is a good cover 3 beater. And then you got Ruggs coming across the middle of the field here. First, I can throw the ball to Waller on the drag. I can also throw to Richard right there on the drag if I really wanted to. just kind of lob it up into that little empty space on the right hand side. But instead I choose to go to the over route, and it's easy money. So those are different ways you can kind of burn the cover 3 out of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and move to the cover 2, actually, because believe it or not, the play you're going to see them come out in the most. Now, if you notice, and this is where I'm going to go over this middle high-low play, right here at X. If you notice your opponent coming out in the cover 2, you want to come out in this middle high-low play. Alright, so we come out in middle high-low. We'll say he's coming out. Let's go to nickel, and let's go to the Tampa 2. So he's in the Tampa 2. Now this is the typical setup that I'm going to use. I'm going to use A here coming on the inside, the little 5-yard in here, and I got, and I have X on the smoke screen on the left-hand side. So we're going to hike the ball, and boom. So this is going to happen almost every time. This is not a hard flat. This is a typical Tampa 2 and a cloud. So he's got the cloud flat. We're hiking the ball, and because of that smoke screen, and we're putting the left analog on the stick, and we're able to hit rugs pretty much over and over again. On this little outside move here, we're going to hit left on the outside on the stick, and we're going to make the throw, and he's going to make the catch on the sideline on the 30. So we're on the, I zoomed in too much. So we're right here, we're on the 49, and so he's catching the ball for 20 yards. And it's a pretty quick throw, as you can see. It's let me run it at full speed. Hike, 1,001, 1,000. I mean, we're letting it go before 1,002. So even if he's got a free runner, you're still letting that go. I'm sorry, let me go back. Instead of just running the play again, I can show you all of them on the play. So I hiked the ball here. I got him, but Waller is also going to come open, or this over post is going to come open. One of those two guys are going to come open on this play. So we'll hike the ball here. So A is open. So basically, because of the fact that the outside linebacker's got to cover Y, A is open. Now RB is not. That is the one bad part about this. RB is not open. He will not be open unless A is covered. However, one of the things that you can do, if I get enough time, but we shall see, is smart route RB's route. Let's see if I can get left. No, I'm not going to be able to. Now the linebacker is going to follow him across the field, but generally he can get across the field a little bit quicker. However, if he's in a cover 2, I'm literally just pounding this Y route. I'm just throwing it over and over and over again to that Y route until he makes an adjustment. Now if that's safe, if he takes that corner and bails him deep, then I'm pounding X and A. And like I said, these are quick throws, and they're on both sides of the field. So you're going to burn the cover 2 with this play. Now this play will also get the cover 3. Y's route will beat it. Not as bad as the other ones, but it will. And RB's route, believe it or not, is not bad against cover 3 either. So like I said, typically I'm putting left analog, making the throw right there. That it is a cover 2 massacre play. Because it will do that to the cover 2 every time. That's a Tampa 2. That is not. So I'll come out and again because I want to run it against a 3-4. But yeah, not a 3-4, a cover 3. But that is a standard run-of-the-mill Tampa 2 that you'll see all the time. So against the cover 3 here. So right here, you're running the cover 3. I just want to prove to y'all that Y will win here. He missed. But yeah, you see Y actually does win. Coming over. Especially if he does not bump. So, as you can see on that play, he didn't get bumped. If he doesn't get bumped, I mean, he's walking home, basically. But what I did want to show you is, as you can see here, A's on this route here, you're going to put that on the right-hand side, and that's money in the bank. So you're going to put that just to his right. So just coming out of his break, he's in this cover 3, and bam. And that's a quick 5-yard route there. Now RB again will come open kind of depending on what 59 does. It all depends on what 59 does. However, 59 will follow RB. So if I put A on this right here, because I think he's in the cover 3, he's wide open. And it's going to be that way regardless. So you just right trigger on A, make him run the little stop route, and you can hit him for 5 to 10 yards pretty much every time. Or he's going to take that linebacker and do something about it. So that's how you beat the cover 3 with that. Now, I do want to show you that same middle, high, low. I also like to come out in this if my opponent is coming out in man. This will happen relatively frequently, something actually similar to this, which would be like a man double buzz. Now, what's nice about this Y route, oh, he's on a linebacker, oh, for God's sake. That Y route, though, let me get in the dime, I think. The dime 1-2 or something. Get that linebacker off of him. Because I don't care what they're in. That linebacker's going to get demoralized. So there we go. Cover 1 robber. So when you hike the ball here, he actually, as long as you have your speedster, whoever that is there, gets really good position. He's on the outside. And he will win that battle 9 out of 10 times. Now, you want your quarterback to have the arm to get it to him. So like I'm lobbing it here for kind of dramatic effect, to be frank with you. But typically speaking, you're going to want to beam this to make sure he can make the throw. So he will win that though. Another nice thing about lobbing the pass is, as you can see, if he does have close coverage, it's a lot harder for him to pick it off or make a play on it. But if you're going to lob it, make sure you lob it early. Another thing is obviously A on the inside. But what's nice, and this is where that RB route kind of can shine, is you'll see a cover 1 typically has that middle blue safety. But actually, if you throw it on his break, and Renfro is not the best wide receiver by any stretch of the imagination, but if you throw it on his break, oof, as I said, I should have expected that was coming. A lot of times, depending on your receiver matchup, he will actually win that battle. Now, sometimes he's not gonna, you want to make sure depending on who your wide receiver is. Like with Renfro there, typically speaking, if he's in a man, I am gonna go ahead and make the throw underneath again to Waller. It's gonna be the Waller show all day. I'm looking hike, I'm looking Y and Waller, and putting a little bit of backing along so that A doesn't get to him. Or if I see he's coming out in man a lot, I might run X instead of having Waller do that. I might have him run a slant route instead. And as you can see, that's, I don't care what it is. That's going to burn the heck out of it. You want to kind of judge what your opponent's doing. So say my opponent's doing this a lot. I'm going to run a drag on the outside, a drag on the right, slant, a lot of crossing patterns, stuff like that. But you want to judge based on what your opponent's coming out in. But the reason I want to bring this play up is that Y route against man will also win quite frequently, especially if whoever you have is fast, which is why you want to put your fast guy there. All right, so now we're on to while we were in man, actually. Let me go ahead. Like I said, this is going to be a long one, guys. So, while we're in man, see, we'll do cover one hole. I'll show you the nice man beaters now. If you're running this, not my favorite man play. Rugs will obviously win, but RB is going to be your typical go-to on this play if you're going to run it stock. So if you're just running it basic, Rugs will win, but RB is pretty much the one you're going to. Because nobody else is going to win big time. Now, if you feel like he's in man and you want to take one of these routes away, I would take Wise route away and run, you're running back on a quick slant or something. But it is certainly, this is not the play to be running against man. The two plays I would say that I like to run against man the most would be Y corner and Y shallow cross. Y corner, because Y corner set up stock, and this is why I like to put B on the little smoke screen here. If he's in man, that A route is unbelievable. That tight end route is really good at beating man. So if he's running man a lot, what you're going to do is do something like this and do something like that. And A's route is going to win a lot, and also Ruggs' route is going to win a lot. However, one of the reasons, and this is just to show you that it definitely wins by quite a bit, but I'm going to run him on a streak just to occupy that safety there. I'm going to move him all the way over. That's okay. Even though it was a throw out of a sack, I wanted to score the touchdown. I could have thrown that way earlier, but it is what it is. So because I just wanted to occupy the safety to show you, he gets absolutely unbearably open. So you got A on the quick one that generally wins. He actually didn't win all that much on that one. And then Renfro on the drag. Like I said, depending on your receiver is going to depend on how open he gets. And then he throws a duck. But this route right here is going to beat man quite a bit, like a crossing route with your slot guy. So I'd run that. And I'd also run Y shallow cross, which essentially, like I said, you're basically running a mesh concept. Now I might take B, run him out, because that'll beat most zones. But you got Waller. Oh my goodness, I should have done that to Waller. That was just a terrible read on my part. But yeah, you're going to hike the ball, and like I said, you're going to read one of those drag routes, or you're also going to read the in route. So that in route is not bad at beating man for sure, especially with a speedster like Ruggs there. So you got that right there. And that'll absolutely demoralize man. So went over some cover 2 beaters out of it, went over definitely some major cover 3 beaters. Now I'm going to come out in the level switch, and I want to go over another one of the Madden players' favorite plays, the cover 4 drop. Oh, the cover 4 drop. So against cover 4 drop, we set up the levels. I hike the ball now. Against the cover 4 drop, this X route is actually not a bad play. This is that one time where that smoke screen is going to be a good play. Now, again, you want to look up, try to read the safeties based on what your opponent's doing. But that X route, if you were to throw it, you actually don't want to throw it quick like I just did. got a little ahead of myself. You want to throw it a little late. So you actually want to wait to see if that purple route kind of careens out like that. Then you want to hit the X route. He's open there for 5, 6. So, but there's that. But you hike the ball, you're going to read left to right. And again, you actually have the same reads on this play that you had in the cover 3. You got RB, you got Y, X, Y, RB, and then A. And A is, again, wide open. And then B at the very tail end, just like any other levels concept. Now, where this really gets in trouble is, again, this play right here. Now, A is still open, but the throw is much different. So as you see, that time, instead of putting right analog, I had to put down analog. So what I'm doing is I'm reading that right side. So I'm hiking the ball, and you see here, I got to put back analog on that throw, otherwise the safety's going to get there. You can still make it, but it's one of those throws you don't want to be making over and over again. But you can certainly add it to the repertoire because, see, I threw it a little late. The problem is, that's one of those where if you feel like he's in cover 4, you suspect it, you got to read it early. So I want to bring attention to it. I hit it early. It's kind of the thought process on that one. And now in Y shallow cross, Y shallow cross, you're going to send X on the drag. And I'm actually typically going to send him on an out route, especially if I think it's cover 4, because you hike the ball, and if he's pressing, you can hit him on the quick out route 5 or 10 yards, which a lot of times won't get him out of it, but it's at least something for them to think about. So typically I'll do some setup like this, hike the ball, and again you're reading A, you're reading X, and you're reading Y. A lot of times, especially against the cover 4, I'll show you this in the replay. You're hiking the ball, and you're reading Richard underneath. See, Richard right there? There's all that room for 10 yards. Easy. So you got a ton of room underneath here. And because it's cover 4 drop, again, that middle linebacker, as you can see, is staying back with that seam route because he has no other choice. Otherwise, you're able to throw it inside. And you could have hit Richard here, but instead I chose to hit the over route. And that's some of the ways. Now, Y corner, against cover 4, certainly not my favorite choice. It's primarily a man and cover 3 beating type of play. However, if I were to run this for whatever reason, a lot of times what I'm going to try to do is run something kind of like that. And what I'm going to try to do is actually hit RB. So a lot of times, because of that route coming across, that drag is going to be open because of the fact the linebackers are going backwards. So again, you want to take his user into account. Obviously, a lot of times you're going to hike the ball. RB is going to be there, and sometimes you really got to sneak it, but you can sneak X in. Not my favorite play against cover 4. This is probably the worst play against cover 4, in my opinion. It's much more of a cover 3, cover 2. Oh, I didn't show you this against cover 2. I'll show that to you right after this. But it's a cover 3, cover 2, man. Not a good cover 4 play. Great against everything else with the exception of cover 4. I would not run this against cover 4 drop in particular. Now, on to the touchdown play. Corner up. So the way I like to run corner up is, this is primarily the play I'll go to in cover 4 if I want to beat. If I'm wanting to beat it deep. Now, this is going to require some time, and it's to the running back, but I run X on the zig. That's primarily, he's my alert. He's my man read. Waller's route, as you can see, I'll hit that in the cover 3 from time to time. But I'm going to put him here on just a quick curl. I'm going to take B, run him. I can run B on a drag. I can run him on an out. Doesn't really matter. I just can't run him deep. So I'm going to slide to the right. We're going to move here. And of course, don't get quite enough time. That's my own fault. So let's try this one more time. Hopefully. And of course. It's every time. Every time. Now, as you can see, the biggest down drop to this play is it does require quite a bit of time. It requires quite a bit of time. So it takes a while to come open. However, it is not this hard if you're not an all Madden against Aaron Donald and the computer. Because for some reason, the computer... I'm actually going to throw that on the run anyway. I'm going to complete this pass. I'm telling you, it never takes me this long. And it works in game all the time. But I'm having an issue getting the time right this second. Because he's just beating the hell. Like, my line is just getting demoralized on that left side. I'm trying to... As you can see, though, he's getting wide open. I had to settle for him not being as open. Alright, I'm going to run it one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll just have to show y'all in replay what it looks like. Well, not if it doesn't work, but if I don't get the time. Because, you know, reasons. There we go. That time we were able to make it happen. Alright. So as you can see here on the replay, we're hiking the ball. That curl route, for some reason, now again, drag route's wide open again. So on this quick turn, X is open and the drag is open. But regardless, I run way out to the right because my left tackle can't hold for that long. So I run and throw it on the run here. But as you can see, that skinny post, because of that curl route, and never mind the fact that you can see Y's route also comes wide open. You see that right there coming over the middle, which is nice. But he comes wide open for the touchdown. So against cover 4, I like to run this if I want the touchdown play. So if I don't want to take my time. Now what I will do is sometimes I'll hit Y like that if I've got, you know, or sometimes, like I said, if it's a drop, I'll hit rugs for the 5-yarder if I kind of want to sneak it in there for whatever reason. However, 90% of the time, what I'm trying to do if I'm running this play, if I can get the time, is hit RB coming across right there because he gets unbearably open. And Aaron Donald's about to dominate. I took off too fast. But yeah, he gets unbearably open if you can get just a little bit of time. Unfortunately, I'm against a really difficult team. But as you can see, he definitely gets open on the touchdown play. So that's another nice thing I like to do against cover 4. And now just to show y'all the screen and the QB draw before I kind of wrap it up here. So the screen, I'll go ahead and put them in the audible real quick, just so I can do it at the same time. So I got the QB draw here, and the screen. And I'll come out just to cover 3 now. Again, he's off the ball. We're going to hike it. And I mean, it's just, you know, it's a screen. You can hit it for 5, maybe 10. It depends. If he's blitzing heavy, it's not terrible against man coverage. I wouldn't say it's the best. Obviously, it depends on how many people are out there, but it's a screen. It's not bad. It's okay. Not the best screen, but it'll do depending on if you're getting the look you want to get. And I guess I shouldn't have made it inaudible because I wanted to show you all against the best circumstance, because the only time I'm running this is if I'm up against something that kind of looks like this. But as you can see, you know, I mean, Derek Carr fumbles, and that's kind of why I don't run it a ton, unless I've got, you know, Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray or something like that. Is a lot of times you're gonna hike the ball and you're just gonna look for an opening. Not a dreadful run. Jesus, Derek. Yeah, not a dreadful run. It's just one of those runs that, you know, you're only going to run if you're, you know, on the goal line and you come out in this or on the 10 or something. You think you can sneak it across. But yeah, that's kind of a rundown. Like I said, I love running this formation primarily against guys that like to run a lot of cover 3 and a lot of cover 2. I'll either come out and level switch or middle, high, low, whichever one I feel like is better for the time being. And if I got a player and let's say I come out middle, high, low, and he comes out in something like this, so you got a single high, it looks a lot like a cover 3. I'm going to audible here to the stick and nod, send A deep. I'm going to smoke screen both these guys, and we're going to hit Ruggs here for the easy touchdown. Or the tight end on the right hand side. And that's what makes it so deadly, is because I can hit you on both sides. You can't possibly sit on everybody. And it is really difficult to deal with, really difficult to handle. And not only can I beat you that way, but on top of that, if I get the time and for whatever reason, I can also hit you with Wise route here on the corner. I mean, I can hit you with so many different things out of this formation that are instant touchdown plays. You know, this Y shallow cross, not an instant touchdown play against it, but it's just, it spreads you out so much. I see the press here, I can hit you with B, and that's on Ramsey. And it was a tight throw, still able to get it done. But even if I didn't make that throw, having A, X, or Y coming across the field, I mean, it's a really difficult formation to deal with. It's really difficult to handle out of the cover 3 in particular. And so, hope you guys enjoyed that. Good luck, like I said. This is my personal favorite out of empty base flex. I love running this formation. I love running this particular mini scheme against people that are, and again, I have plenty of other things I beat the cover 3 out of, but this to me is the most simple and the most effective, especially if they're running a bend don't break type of scheme. I love this, you know, level switch against the really, you know, if they're running a real kind of basic, if they're running a lot of cover 3, this is something that'll just give them headaches forever. And it's just so difficult to deal with out of it. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found it helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I know it was a really long video, but I wanted to go over every part of this little mini scheme for you, the nuts and bolts and everything else, and show you different ways, like I said, that you can beat this cover 3. That unfortunately, you know, very few people have blitz schemes, so you might as well take advantage of it. If they're not going to run the blitz scheme, you know, hit them with these cover 3 beaters. Come out in the 5 wide and just pound them with it. I know there's another formation, but the way you want to look at it is any formation where that tight end or you have 5 wide receivers and one of them is sitting in Waller's position, you don't want one where the tight end is up. Because it just doesn't spread the field the same way. But yeah, this one is out of the empty base flex. And like I said, just to reiterate my personal setup for it, I had empty base flexes. I got Y corner, Y shallow cross, corner up, stick and nod. I know it's in the Miami playbook. It's in a bunch of other ones. And I'm either coming out middle, high, low, or level switch, and making the reads from there. So until next time, hope you all have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was obscenely long. Thank you guys so much. I hope to see you come back. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.